to begin with, is a misnomer, for there is no such philosophy in existence. The ancient Egyptians had developed a very complex spiritual system called the Mysteries, which was a system of salvation. As such, it regarded the human body as a prison house of the soul, which could be liberated from its bodily implements through the discipline of the arts and sciences and advance from the level of a mortal to that of a god. This was the notion of the summum bonum, or greatest good, to which all men and women must aspire. It also became the basis for all ethical concepts. The Egyptian mystery system was also a secret order, and membership was gained by initiation and a pledge to secrecy. The teaching was graded and delivered orally to the neophyte, and under these circumstances of secrecy, the Egyptians developed secret systems of writings and teachings and forbade their initiate from writing what they had learned. After nearly 5,000 years of prohibition against the Greeks, they were permitted to enter Egypt for the purpose of their education. First, through the Persian invasion, and secondly, through the invasion of Alexander the Great from the 6th century BC, therefore to the death of Aristotle 322 BC. The Greeks made the best of their chance to learn all they could about African Egyptian culture. Most students received instructions directly from the African Egyptian priest, but after the invasion by Alexander the Great, the royal temples and libraries were plundered and pillaged, and Aristotle's school converted the library to Alexandria into a search for center. There is no wonder then that the production of the usually large number of books ascribed to Aristotle was provided a physical impossibility.
That's right. He had way too many books for someone to accumulate in one lifetime. The Greeks stole all the books. They stole them from all of the learning centers all over Africa, as well as Asia, as well as here in the Americas. They are all in the Vatican, property of the Vatican. And so the Greeks all lied about where their knowledge came from. They are nothing but imposters. They murdered everyone, stole the knowledge, and hid it from the world so everyone would be stupid and manageable.
For any single man within 1 or 100 lifetimes.
That's right.
Today, planet Earth has the lowest level of human consciousness of any of the other inhabited planets in this entire universe.
Barbarians, look at her
this
blindfolded.
Is highly unfortunate when it used to be the crown jewel of this universe hundreds of millions of years ago, when the Sirius B vegan experiment of the Tyrannosaurian black creation was delivered on planet Earth's 5th dimensional level of existence.
See, that's what's going on now. Confession is good for the soul. Everybody that's out there that don't understand how bizarre I am to expose my young days activities and all that crazy stuff like that. And a lot of people have the nerve to want to sit at me and frown at me for being a man to come out and say to the world, you know, we all is going to do some stupid shit because our circumstances in this world is being set up for us to be dumb and do stupid shit. The dumbest thing you could do is walk around with ego and try to prove to everybody else around you that you can see as instant fuck-ups that for some reason you're perfect and you're infallible and that you can't make a mistake. And then you want to have a way to ride on the fence and point your finger at everybody else. Now, like I tell you, I came down here to this earth with a specific objective from the sun to come down here and talk the stuff that I'm talking. All right, and you can understand and see that the walk that I walk right now has nothing to do with all the stuff I tell you about when I was a younger man, because you know what? I didn't know who I was then. I was following the normality of societal occurrences every day. So there's a lot of people out there that won't come honest and admit that they've made the same mistakes and they keep making them. Them would be the ones that you always see trying to frown up and look at me with a goofy look on their face. And I'm like, if I can live with myself doing these things, why does it bother you? See, the reason it bothers you is because you haven't understood or come to the overstanding of how important it is for you to be first honest to yourself, because the son knows everything, and that's the person that's going to judge you, because you are the son, whether you believe that or not. But my point being right here, confession is good for the soul for everybody. No person on this earth had the privilege to sit around here and try to look down on me for exposing something to you that I got caught up in by being on this planet with the same ritual that I went through, many people that went through, and because no one did anything to make that type of occurrence not available for me when I pop up on this earth, is the reason why it was there for me, and the reason it's going to be there for your child. So the whole purpose of all that was for you to see what I went through, and maybe you could go out there and counter block that from happening to your son, and do something out there that's responsible for you as a parent, other than sit your ass back and wait till you see me and try to frown at me for being honest with you and letting you know the circumstances that can make me make a fool out of myself like that. So you can look for that and use my experiences at that matter, so you don't have to see your child go through that, or you can stop doing it. You can come out of the damn closet, because I know that's the problem with a lot of you motherfuckers out there, because that's how y'all get down. You guys can't stop doing that bullshit. So that's the reason why any man that come out and tell you, yeah, I know this is a problem with our earth and I can show you how it's happening, they're using sublime suggestions every avenue they can. That's what being a man is all about. So you can talk to the younger man coming up behind you and try to point the way to them so they don't have to make the same mistakes you make. Nowadays, the world is so twisted. You try to point out an avenue of getting through without having to go through the trouble I went through to these dumb motherfuckers, and they had the nerves to tell you, you ain't my daddy. Don't be trying to act like, all that stupid shit. So here's the deal. Most of these young guys out here that's dumb as hell and still drinking that alcohol going to end up dead or in prison, because that's what they got set up. Now, you saw yesterday that that train fell off the track and killed over 100 people there in Spain. All right? They said 80 whatever. I bet you it was more than that. See, the universe, when it got those Spaniards, it's funny they all got killed right after I was telling you guys about how they came here and murdered everybody up there on that mountain over there, Mucho Puchu, whatever. It's hard for me to Micho Puchu. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, it's ironic how spirit works like that. It's saying, I saw them, and that's why I told you to tell the world what they did. And I'm getting ready to start dealing with all these European countries up here for the shit they've done and planning to do. And all this shit is coming to an end. It's just that simple. So don't worry about them sorry ass people out there that's going to look at you and try to hate on you and all that because of your honesty and because of your anointing by me. Because I'm the one calling the shots from now on, and they're going to just have to feel that. I'm going to make their planes fall out of the sky. I'm going to make their trains keep crashing. I'm going to make their asses fall off the mountain. I'm going to make their scuba diving excursions go bad. I'm going to sink all their cruise lines. Everything that I can do to get their ass shook up and understand that it's time to pay reparation back to people on this earth that they done fucked over, and return the earth back over, because you see the smoke up in Washington. Just like I said, I told you guys, my sister said, see, they are a stubborn people, but I'm going to put this smoke on their ass first and see what's going to happen. Now remember what I said to you. The fire always follows the trail of the smoke. Now don't forget that. So when you see this smoke blowing through your communities and shit, that's my sister saying to your dumb ass, I'm going to send smoke out here today to give you your indication of why you should get your green light. And then when you still don't buy it and this fire come up here and burn your ankles off and burn your ass up, because I don't care about keeping nobody on this earth that I know is going to continue to harass my children and deprive them. That's just what's going on. You guys better accept that. Alright, I don't care about the frowns, I don't care about the stares. You guys got to figure out by now that you're fighting the sun, not me. I'm just a mouthpiece for the sun. And what she's saying is, I am going to burn y'all stupid asses up and I'm going to drown. Just like my son said, I'm going to put those bitches in the New England states in canoes. And I'm going to blow smoke over their ass all the way from the West Coast to the East Coast. All over the country. So you can see that starting right now. And I gave you that prophecy about 15 months ago. So don't be trying to get mad at me when you had all this time to do something to stop it from happening. And you just thought I was a dumbass. But you can see it manifesting right now.
As a spacecraft civilization with highly advanced physical and spiritual consciousness and existence. Now it has fallen to a low ebb and being ruled by demon albino reptilian humanoids from Alpha Draconis, Orion, as well as the planet Nibiru, who have sent their demon reptilians and humanoids here to this planet to teach and preach and promote whiteness and the ridiculousness of the religion that the Hebrews have fabricated, because there is no ancient Israel. The information which that nonsensical Bible and Torah has, as Isaiah explains to us, was stolen by the Hebrew priests of the Temple of Solomon, stolen from beings on the fourth dimension and other three-dimensional worlds, which he taught them how to travel to by using the Kundalini energy in the spine of the crocodile, with the African Egyptians used as technology, then move themselves up to a higher frequency so that they could have access to the holographic projections which people in this universe send to three-dimensional worlds to see how they're going to play out. They stole these stories and used them to pretend it was their history, Isaiah tells us. He speaks about the God of the Hebrews, which is a low-level backroom office clerk on the planet Nibiru called Jehovah, as the Hebrews refer to him as God the Father. He is one of the sons of Lucifer, and he has a diabolical brother named Brahma who oppresses the black people in India. Their agenda is to promote whiteness in a gigantic universe of blackberry juice, as they operate as a tiny microbe sinking to the bottom of it as I speak. Contemporary Western civilization is Jewish, and as such, it has no knowledge because it emanates out of abject darkness. These ignorant fools could not tell the difference between a Melchizedek being a Yana and a supreme being personality of the Godhead if their lives depended upon it. That primitive and ignorant God concept the Jews have made up is so very far from prime creators until they should all be kicked in their asses for making up such horrendous lies.
I think you should kick them in their navel.
The Hebrew priesthood is a demonic secret society which does not have the very first clue about this creation. Constantly, they have stolen the documents of other beings in the third and fourth dimension to pretend they are ancient Israel's history, when in reality,